Home free territory. The Knights back to clear it around the boards. It comes to Shears, and he moves it out to center ice. And the first check of the game comes from Michaud, and back in the Rome zone it goes. Back in to pick it up is Vitellone, the defenseman, rips it around the boards to the blue line and just trickles out to center ice to the Massena line. And something else about Kennedy Rink, not much room between the two blue lines. Back in the Rome zone it goes. Raiders try to keep it in. They do momentarily as Toth gets a piece of it, but it bounces free out to center ice. And trickles to the blue line, but not in the Massena zone. Now it is, but we have an offsides as it just went off the skate of Marullo. He was about 3 feet in the zone, and offsides will be the call. Just underway here, the Massena Red Raiders and the Black Knights of Rome Free Academy at John F. Kennedy Arena in Rome, New York.
One of the strengths.
Black Knights, their depth at forward. They come at you, they really
A lot of pressure on you, and again, the Raiders' first 5-7 minutes have to withstand that pressure.
Off the face-off, the puck comes to Massena defenseman Leduc. Nice headman pass, Catanzari. He tries to barge through, but it's knocked off his stick out to the neutral zone. Hatch flips it to an open wing where Levine poke checks it ahead, knocked away. To the neutral zone, back inside Rome free territory, where the Knights pick it up, and circling around is defenseman Miller. Bangs it off the boards to center ice, dumped right back in by Leduc. Raiders have to get on sides, they do. Puck bounces to the corner, left side of the goaltender, who is Brandon Shears. The puck bounces free to Hatch. He shoots it right on. Rebound, bouncing in front. He jam at it. Where is it? In the corner. It somehow didn't get through. Bounces in front again. Catanzari scores! That puck came from behind the net from Levine to Catanzari. Over the shoulder. Raiders take an early lead.
That line of Nick Tubolino at center, Adam Catanzari and Chris Levine on that left side. Got it in low and start putting some pressure on. Nick Tubolino had the first shot from about 15 feet out, and it hit something, went wide in behind the net. The Raiders dug it out, threw it out in front, and Adam Catanzari, standing off that right side from about 12 feet out, roofed one up over the shoulder of Brandon Shears, and the Raiders take an early lead.
See if I can pick up the scoring.
Well, Chris Levine's going to get an assist, I do believe. Catanzari will get the goal, there's no doubt about that.
And Tubolino also getting an assist. So off the face-off that ensues, the puck back in the Massena zone. The Knights trying to put some pressure on, and it bounces in behind the net. Racing for it there is Barry. To the point, here's a shot, deflects right on, and Mark Reed has to make his first save of the ball game.
That shot coming from the point, number 22, Matt Vitellone taking that shot through traffic, and Mark Reed able to pick it all the way. Gave up a short rebound, but jumps on it, face off to the left. That goal coming at the 1:24 mark. Adam Catanzari with Chris Levine and Nick Tubolino. And let's see, that's Adam's 4th goal of the year.
Robbie Whitcup's line back out there for Massena off the face-off. Leduc in his own end. Takes a funny bounce right off the back of the mesh. Whitcup picks it up and headmans it. Here comes Raiders into the zone. The shot and the save in behind the net by goaltender Shears. That coming off Michaud's stick on a nice headman by Robbie Whitcup. Michaud trying to dig it out of the corner now. Comes in behind the net. In behind, Whitcup chasing it in the corner along with the defenseman Vitellone. They crash together, and the puck bounces free. Now Michaud centering pass, Whitcup, and he fires it right across the goal mouth. In the other corner it goes. Pinching in, Massena defenseman Hatch. He can't keep it, and it trickles back to the Massena blue line. Aaron Leduc picks it up. Headman, and the puck backhanded in the zone. Raiders lead at 1-0 here. We've just played a couple of minutes in the first period. So the Raiders jumping out on top, and that's just what they wanted to do here in this hockey game. Puck and a hard check thrown there as Nick Toth goes down on the ice, but he comes up with a puck anyway and moves it back out to center ice and dumps it off the boards inside Rome territory. Puck in behind the net now, out to Toth. Takes it deep, right in front, shot, score! Deflected in front, and the Raiders get a second goal, and again, that's Catanzari.
Adam Catanzari parked in front, tied up, hog-tied by the Rome defenseman. The shot from the right side, I'm not sure if Levine or Tubolino took the shot. Anyway, Catanzari tied up in front, it ricocheted in off his leg, and the Raiders have scored twice in less than 3 minutes and have taken a 2-goal lead. We'll see if we can get the assist on the goal.
3 minutes of time of the goal. Catanzari from Toth. And the Raiders get 2 right off the bat, 2 right off the stick of Adam Catanzarite, and they take a 2-0 lead here, and we're just 3 minutes into the hockey game. Now there's a battle behind the Massena net, but it's ripped around the boards by Brandon Hall to the blue line out to center ice. Here comes Levine busting down the left wing side. He's got Catanzarite, shoots! Save made, and holding on is Brandon Shears. And I'll tell you what, this Levine line with Catanzarite and Tubolino certainly not wasting any time in this hockey game.
2 goals, 1:36 seconds. Adam Catanzarite, his 4th and 5th goals. Nick Toth is a guy that took that shot from the right side, and it was a strange one. Catanzarite tied up in front by the Rome defenseman, but it hit him and took about a 90-degree swing and right by goaltender Shears, and just right back again. Chris Levine down that left side from a tough angle had a nice, good hard shot, but Shears able to hold on and hold for the rebound.
And we've got the Rupert line out there now. Rupert will be out there with Ramo and McDonald. Ramo, that's Aaron Ramo, the little Ramo. We've got Hatch out there with Leduc for the Massena Red Raiders on the blue line. Face off right side. 2-0 Massena early in the hockey game on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Puck goes into the corner. Pinching in is Hatch trying to keep it in. Squirts behind the net. McDonald turns around, fires it in the net! Eric McDonald gets a goal, and the Raiders go up 3-0.
Eric McDonald, his first goal of the year. Good forechecking by that line. The puck, Eric McDonald in the right spot at the right time. Picked the puck up to the left side of the net after some good forechecking. Swung right out in front, and from about 15 feet out, beat Brandon Shears low along the ice, and the Raiders have struck for 3 goals. I'll tell you, I can't remember. Well, I guess down in Saratoga when they had those power play goals, but they've come out smoking here, and the Black Knights right back on their heels. First goal of the year, Eric McDonald. We'll see if we can pick up the assist. The PA is not too loud here, but...
And let's see here, also picking up an assist was Ramo on the goal along with Hatch. So there you go. The Raiders scoring 3 quickly. Now an icing call against Massena as they dumped it from the wrong side of the red line. And it's 3-0 as fast as you can say Jack Robinson here at the Rome Kennedy Arena. We're down to 11:10 left in the period. Our broadcast tonight on WMSA Massena Red Raider Hockey brought to you by Nationwide Insurance and your local Nationwide agents, Robert Adams and Robert White on East Orva Street. Face off in the Massena zone. Chris Olsen flipping along the boards to Ryan Ramo. Ramo bounces it by the defenseman, breaks down the right wing side, trying to center in front. Whitcomb shot! Just wide, just missed.
It was a
Back
pass.
to the point. It was a pass, wasn't it? He was trying to get Michaud busting in on the left side. Now the puck dumped back in Massena territory. Icing will be, no, they waved the icing off. And Nick Toth back after it, has it poke checked away, but it's knocked away by Whitcup. Whitcup headman to Michaud. Here comes Michaud in on the off wing, takes it across. Michaud, he's got room, his shot! Ooh, just missed. Whitcup trying to dig it out of the corner. Puck in the Rome zone. Shots on net right now are 9-1. Here's a shot from the point, doesn't get through. Michaud or Ramo picks it up, slides it in. Back to the point. Hatch leaves it for Leduc. His shot is blocked, and the Black Knights are going to ice the puck. Down the ice it goes, and the whistle blows. 10:16 left in the first period. The Raiders have jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Holy cow.
And that third goal, his first goal of the year, big Eric McDonald with Brian Hatch and Aaron Ramo picking up the assist. The Raiders scored 3 goals in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. I tell you, blitzkrieg.
Face-off will come inside Rome territory. Adam Catanzarite has 2 of the 3, takes the draw. Back to the point, it goes. Puck kept in by Leduc, flips it in the corner, it's intercepted. Knights break it out. Leduc intercepts that pass, flips it in the Black Knight zone, right back out to the neutral zone. Hatch takes a whack at it, moves it to Catanzarite. His headman pass, trying to get it through to Tubolino, doesn't quite make it. Catanzarite follows though. Has it knocked away, comes back toward the blue line. Leduc after it. He flips it in the corner behind the net. In behind is defenseman Martin Gora trying to clear it. He can't. Comes to Tubolino. He's bodied into the boards in the corner. We're going to have a penalty, and our first penalty of the game is going to go to...
Gotta believe it's going to go against Rome.
Yeah, the Black Knights for cross-check.
See who's going in. That defenseman, he got nailed in front of the net by Adam Katanzrik, who flattened him. He got up and took a run at Katanzrik in the corner, and the official right on the spot. So the Raiders scoring 3 goals in 2 minutes and 11 seconds, up 3-0. They're going to go on the power play. Chance to pick up one more. Face-off deep in the Rome end to the right of goaltender Brandon Shears. Here at Kennedy Arena, lovely spot to do a game. Just love that crowd noise.
Off the face-off, Raiders on the power play, back to the point. Toth over to Michaud, deflected. Ooh, that might have hit the post. Puck goes back to the point again. Toth right down the middle. His drive in behind the net. Where is it? Short side attempt there by Levine. Doesn't get through. Comes back to the 45. Ramo dumps it to Whitcup. Whitcup to Levine behind the net. Here's Chris Levine. Back to the point it goes. Michaud's there. He'll dump it in the corner for Levine behind the net. Levine leaves it for Ramo. Poke checked away from him. And the Knights break it out to center ice. Into the Massena zone it goes. Nick Toth back after it. He skates away from trouble and starts back the other way. Here's Toth with it. Across the blue line to center ice. Across the red line, across the blue line into the Rome zone. Takes it deep in the corner, right across the goal mouth. It bounces all the way to Ramo at the 45, right side of the goalie. Back to Michaud at the point. He flips it to an open wing. Picked up there by Eddie Marsh for Rome, and he'll dump it down the ice. We're down to about 35 seconds left in the man advantage for the Red Raiders. Back after it is Toth. Not a very aggressive penalty kill by Rome either, as they let Massena pretty much come out of the zone at will. Puck dumped by the Raiders in behind. Marsh picks it up though, and he's going to loft it. Bounces off a body. Back to the point. Toth with it. He can't keep it in. It comes to Michaud at the red line. He looks for Ramo, who fanned on the clearing attempt. The puck dumped down the ice by the Knights and takes a really weird bounce off the boards. Comes right to Reed, who gloves it and then drops it behind the net for Michaud. We're down to about the end of the penalty, so the Raiders do not score a power play goal, but they still have a 3-0 lead. Puck, Michaud flips it out to the neutral zone. Zach Dupree. Dupree can't control it. It bounces away. And finally, it's picked up by Michaud, who flips it on the off wing, deep in Rome territory. Comes back out to the blue line as the Knights try to move it ahead, where Zach Dupree steps in front, takes it across. Here's Dupree in past the check in front. He centers it. Ramo couldn't get a piece of it. Goes back out toward the blue line. Stolen away. Dupree again. He flips it into the corner off the off wing. It comes to Ramo, left corner. Ramo circling around. In behind, they move it in front. Dupree trying to center it. Goes back to the point. Hatch can't keep it in. Here come the Knights. They've got a break. Into the zone it comes. And they pass it across, and it bounces into the corner. Here's a centering pass in front. And the shot. Save made by Reed. Reed keeps it out of the zone somehow. And the Raiders clear it out to center ice. Big save by Mark Reed. Puck in the neutral zone now as the Black Knights try to move it back in the zone. In behind the net, Reed stops it. Leduc has it knocked away, gets it back again, flips it around to Dupree. Dupree can't get it out of the zone. Kept in and dumped behind the net. Here's an opportunity around the boards for Marullo. Marullo has it taken away and tied up in the corner. Leduc is in there battling for it. He skates out of the pack. He and Marullo battle. Marullo steals it away, tries the center. Leduc gets it back again, flips it to the blue line. Here's a drive from the point. Reed makes the save. And the puck comes free to Leduc. He bounces it off the boards and down the ice. They wave. No, they're going to call the icing. The lead official wanted to wave it off, but the back official called icing, and the face-off will move back in Massena territory.
Mark Reed, a couple of big saves, and that first one came off the stick of Tom Sestito as Ed Marsh found himself in front of the net all alone. Reed made a great save. The rebound rolled over to Sestito, and somehow Mark got the pad on it. 2 big saves in succession.
Smith takes the face-off against Katanzrik. Rome controlling the puck. They center it right in front. Reed makes a save, and it goes in the net. And the Knights get one back here.
That's going to come from their third unit that doesn't get out there a lot. Scott Smith is going to pick it up. The Raiders collapsing in their own end. Mark Reed stopped the first 2. The Raiders defenseman not knocking anyone down, looking for the puck, and Scott Smith from about 15 feet out through a lot of traffic, found an opening, and the puck just got in over the goal line. Mark Reed got a piece of it, but just trickled over the goal line, and the Black Knights have got on the board here with 6:28 left in this first period. Mark Reed had not stopped a couple of them, but he couldn't do it all himself. Needed some help out there and didn't get much from the defense on that.
Off the face-off, puck in front. Here's Rome again. Shot saved, and right across the goal mouth. So the Knights have come alive here. Massena clears the zone though. Here's Tubolino back the other way. Makes the shift, drop pass in front, and they can't get the shot off Levine, and back come the Knights. Puck poke checked away out by the blue line by Catanzari. Levine throws a check, the puck bounces free. Into the Massena zone. Here's the drive, it's blocked. Stolen in front, here's a shot, fired in behind the net. And in the net it goes! And the Knights pick up their second. Getting that goal will be J. Mike Mondrick.
Place really rocking as the Rome Black Knights have struck for 2 goals in a short period of time. I'll tell you, this is going to turn out to be an exciting hockey game, but Mark Reed again under all kinds of pressure made the initial save in there, no one clearing the rebound, and then from a really impossible angle, J. Mike Mondrick from the right side slid along the ice and just got inside the far goal post, and Rome has closed this 3-0 deficit to 3-2, and we still have 5.5 minutes left in this first period.
Off the face-off, the puck back in Rome territory. The Knights are going to dump it down the ice, and icing will be called against the Black Knights. 5:32 left, and on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard, the Massena Red Raiders lead Rome 3-2. They had a 3-0 lead, but 2 quick goals by Rome make it 3-2. Our broadcast also brought to you tonight by Massena Optics, Main Street, downtown Massena, and the members of Seacom Federal Credit Union, locations in Massena, Potsdam, and Malone. Off the face-off, puck controlled by the Knights. They bank it off the boards out to center ice. Here's a foot race. Reed, here's a shot, and he makes the save. And he probably should have come out that time, but he decided not to, and he made the save. Raiders clear it back out to the neutral zone. Right back in it goes, and an offsides will be called.
The old saying, hesitate and you are lost. And again, a lot of clubs have a scouting report on Massena. They know the defense would stay up in that offensive blue line, and that time Rome just drifted the puck off the glass by the Massena defenseman, and they had a guy breaking up the middle, and it was a race. Mark Reed started to come out. He hesitated, and to say, hesitated, you're lost. He stayed back. Fortunately for him, Rome fired it just wide of the net.
Yeah, and just missed. Off the face-off, puck poke checked, back to the neutral zone. Toth is there to move it ahead into Rome territory, right back out to center ice. Here come the Black Knights. That's Andrew Miller, gets a shot right on. Rebound picked up by Whitcup. Robbie starts ahead, flips to the blue line, not out of the zone. Here's a shot, Reed makes the save and holds on for the face-off. That shot coming from the point, and Ryan Haley, and holding on. No, actually that wasn't Haley, it was Eddie Marsh back there at the point.
Both those goals, the same format. You could put a replay and it would come out the same. Both Smith's goals and Mondrick's goals from a scramble in front, coming within 40 seconds of each other.
Whitcup will take the face-off. Off the draw against Smith. The puck controlled by Nick Toth. Off the boards and out to center ice it goes. Whitcup trying to come up with it, he can't. Here's a check thrown. The puck comes free to Whitcup as Michaud and his opposite number going after it there. But here comes Rome back the other way. Into the zone is J. Mike Mondrick. Toth just takes him out of the play, and Whitcup picks up the loose puck. Whitcup has it knocked away, gets it back again after throwing a check on Ed Marsh. Whitcup starts it ahead to Ramo. Ramo let it go by. Michaud picks it up, flips it ahead to Whitcup. Whitcup trying to dipsy-doodle by, and he can't do it. The puck knocked away, and it bounces back toward the blue line. Into the corner, it just kind of creeps there. Everybody after it. Finally, it's picked up by McDonald behind the net. Backhander in front shot, and Ramo got a great opportunity, but the save is made by goaltender Brandon Shears. A beautiful feed by McDonald from behind the net.
Eric McDonald working his way from right to left behind the net, threw it out in front, and Aaron Ramo had an excellent crack at it, but he couldn't beat goaltender Shears. And a couple of the Raiders had raised their sticks in jubilation, thinking that the puck was in, but it never crossed the line.
4:05 left in the first period. 3-2 Raiders lead on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Off the face-off. Puck, McDonald pokes it in behind the net, battles for it there, has it knocked away. It comes to Rupert. Rupert trying to feed it through, bounces in front of the net to the blue line, kept there. Here's Leduc's shot, knocked down in front. Bounces free, Leduc keeps it in again, trying to slide it through McDonald. He looks to center, but it's intercepted. Bounces out to center ice, back in the zone again. But here come the Knights, they dump it all the way down. Reed has to make a stop. He'll flip it ahead. Nice pass, Ramo. Ramo dumps it. Intercepted there at the blue line by Andrew Miller, and we're going to have our penalty against Massena, I believe. No, wait a minute.
The way the crowd is chanting here, we think it's going to go. It's going to be a charging call. It looks like against number 27. Number 27, Mark Berry. We'll wait and see. It is Berry. See what the call is. I think it's going to be charging. Coming with 3:34 left in the period. At one time, the Raiders held a 9-1 shot advantage. That's been closed to 11-10 in favor of Massena, so it shows that the Black Knights have really put on some offensive pressure.
Yeah, they picked up the by listening as the Knights clear the puck. This is a wild place for a hockey game.
Oh, it just
this
it's
is great.
jumping.
This is just great. Here comes Toth with the puck behind his own end. Head man to Michaud. He busts down the right wing side, takes toward the middle, trying to slide through. It's intercepted. And in turn, Ramo picks it up again and dumps it deep in Rome territory. Puck behind the net. The Knights find the hole and dump it down the ice. And the other thing about this very small ice surface, so it doesn't take long to get from one end to the other. Here comes Toth. Head man Ramo goes off his stick, knocked away back in the Massena zone. Raiders not doing much on the power play so far tonight. Michaud flips to Toth, goes to Levine, who dumps it deep in Rome territory. Back after it is Eddie Marsh, and he flips it ahead to center ice. And we got a controlling with a high stick.
And the Rome Black Knight faithful, as you can tell, disagreeing with that call, but I think it was a good call. The Knights icing the puck out of their own end, and at center ice, and then number 15, Morello, knocked the puck down, and if not, he might have had a breakaway, but the stick was over the shoulder, and the official right on the spot. But Jerry, you talked about the crowd here. It's a nice crowd, and it's a small rink, and the fans are right on top of the ice surface, and you can almost hear them breathe, and it just adds so much.
Off the face-off, Michaud back to the point, toss shot. Oh, in behind the net it goes, and it's tied up in the mesh. And we'll have a face-off as it's getting a little rough out there on the ice, too.
It's fast, furious, and a lot of hitting going on. Only had 2 penalties, both to the Rome club here in this first period. The Raiders jumped out to a 3-0 lead with 3 quick goals in 2 minutes and 11 seconds, and the Black Knights have struck for 2 within 40 seconds.
Whitcup takes the draw, wins it, back to Michaud, who dumps it into Rome territory. It's going to be dumped right back down the ice. And in the corner it goes, Michaud after it. Turning it around, he'll drop it for Toth. Toth picks it up, carries it ahead, goes to Whitcup, who takes it across into the Rome zone. He's got Ramo with him, feeds it to Ramo. No, Michaud shot! Save made, rebound, and held on to by Brandon Shears. Nice setup by Massena, and good opportunity by Michaud, but right at the goalie.
Robbie Whitcup going down that left side, drew the defenseman to him. Looked like he was going to pass to Aaron Michaud coming through the slot, but he waited and delayed and came to the late man. Aaron Michaud coming right down the middle, put it right on the tape, and Aaron had both sides, but he put it right into that big crest that young Brandon Shears wears on the middle of his uniform.
3-2, Massena leading. We're only in the first period, folks. Off the face-off, puck dumped down the ice by the Black Knights as they win the draw. Mark Reed stops at side of the net for Aaron Leduc. Leduc starts out, right side. Here's Leduc, headman. Ahead to Catanzarite, Adam busting in on the right wing side. Headman pass in front, McDonald shot. Bounces right in front, shot. Tubolino goes in behind the net, comes in front, shot. Catanzarite gets his hat trick. Adam Catanzarite gets his 3rd goal to give Massena a 4-2 lead.
And the Rome contingent, or the players are saying, but there was a player on top of our goaltender. It was Nick Tubolino, but he got drilled into Brandon Shears. The puck came loose, and Adam Catanzarite, Johnny on the spot. He had Shears down and out of the play, and he made no mistake as he buried it upstairs. And the Raiders have restored that 2-goal advantage, 4-2. And Adam Catanzarite, what a first period he's having.
Having a hat trick here in the first period, and we'll see if we can pick up the assist on that goal.
And again, Rome questioning, but there was no doubt. Nick Tubolino was right on top of the goaltender, but he got drilled from the back and was pushed into Brandon Shears. The puck came loose, and Adam Catanzarite, no question, roofed it. Raiders 4-2. Here come the Knights.
Here comes the Black Knights into the Massena zone. Backhand pass, or shot goes wide to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Side of the net. They got a man right in front, but it goes off Leduc's skate into the corner. Catanzarite back after it. Flips it along the boards, gets it back again. Trying to move it ahead. Bounces free. and is picked up by the Knights, but we have a whistle, and a hand pass will be the call. McDonald gets the assist on that goal, by the way. And we are down to 1:20 left in the first period on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. It's the Massena Red Raiders leading the Rome Black Knights 4-2. Broadcast also brought to you by Seaway Orthopedics, Dr. Bedros Pakurtsian and the staff, Outer Andrew Street in Massena. We've got the Derek Rupert line out there. Rupert with a little Ramo, and Zach Dupree's on the other wing. That's Aaron Ramo. And Ramo has the puck, dumps it deep in Black Knight territory. In behind the net it goes. The defenseman kind of fell down. Montagruno lost his edge, and the puck bounced into the corner. There's a battle for it there. Bodies flying. Ramo comes away with it in front. He's hauled down. The puck bounces free, and the Knights will break it out of there. Puck back to the neutral zone. Here come the Knights, dumping it deep in Massena territory. Reed's going to leave it side of the net for Nick Toth, and Toth skates out as Black Knights make a change. Here's Toth, headman. Ramo poke checks it as it goes by deep in the corner. After it is Andrew Miller. Miller after it there, trying to come up with it, flips it around the boards, and it bounces free. Here's Zach Dupree trying to get a shot off, goes back to the point, keeping it in his hatch, and he flips it in behind the net. Puck bounces in the corner. After it there, the Black Knights trying to move it around to the blue line. Hatch keeps it in, directs one at net. It didn't get through, and we're down to about 15 seconds left. Here come the Knights to the Massena line. In the zone it goes, behind the net. Picked up there by Leduc. He flips it around the boards. Raiders look to clear. Ramo, oh, he just takes a wicked check, but he gets it ahead to Rupert. Rupert trying to flee to, he gets nailed, and the puck is underneath him. Against, let's pick that up here. Who is
17.
That? Yeah, Dylan Shears. And we're underway. It goes back into the Massena zone off the draw, in behind the net. And it's stolen side of the net and bounces back to the 45. Here's a shot, and that goes in behind the net as Rome Black Knights putting some pressure on. Trying to clear it is Brandon Hall. Puck kept in at the point. Goes to Whitcup. Whitcup moving it ahead. Trying to get it to Michaud, knocked away. Comes right out the middle. Finally, it's cleared to center ice. Whitcup. Here comes Robbie Whitcup. He gets bodied by two Rome players, but stays with it. The puck now squirts away to center ice. Here come the Black Knights moving it back. Matullo shot up over the net. From just inside the blue line comes to Ramo. He bounces it in behind the net. He'll flip it over on the other side for Brandon Hall. Hall moves it, bangs it to the blue line. Center ice picked up there by Ryan Haley. His pass intercepted by Toth. Barges his way through. Has it poke checked away. Comes back to Hall at the Massena blue line. He'll flip to Whitcup. Whitcup circles, drops it to Hall, right back to Whitcup, and he breaks down the left sideline. Trying to get by the defense. He cannot do it. It's taken away and flipped back the other way. Here comes Rome. Mark Berry into the Massena zone, trying to get it to Marsh. Marsh shot right on. Reed dives out there, but the puck goes in behind the net. Now he grabs a hold of it and holds on for the face-off. We're just underway in the second period. Raiders lead at 4-2 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Big Eddie Marsh, we said he is big, about 6'3", 210, but he's playing both forward and defense here. If you notice, he centers the line, then he drops back on defense, takes a breather, and he's right back out there. Good-looking hockey player.
Face-off will be in the Massena zone. It's going to be Catanzari taking the draw out there against Mondrick. J. Mike off the face-off. Puck sits in the circle. Shot right on. Save made. Puck behind the net. They try to wrap around. It bounces back to the blue line. Here's a shot. Knocked down. Bounces into the corner. Picked up by the Raiders, but we have a penalty in front of the net. And a cross-check call will go against Massena.
Raiders, looks like Aaron Leduc is going to pick up the penalty. It will be a cross-checking call coming at the 13:30 mark of this second period. Raiders defending the goal at the east end. This rink here at Rome Kennedy Arena runs east and west. The Raiders are defending the far end, our far end, the east end. We're located in the southwest corner up in a platform. Good vantage spot, but not so good when it plays down at the other end.
Well, let's see what happens here. The Raiders will try to kill off a penalty. J. Mike Mondrick will take the face-off against Robbie Whitcup. Off the draw, the puck sits in the circle. Raiders clear it down the ice. Somebody got a piece of it, probably Aaron Michaud, I imagine. And the puck comes back in Black Knight territory. Back after it is J. Mike. He circles around behind his net. No, that's Eddie Marsh, excuse me. Like you say, he's a big kid. He starts out from behind his net, flips on the wing. Leduc, or I should say, Michaud throws a check but can't keep the puck. Here's Mondrick. Nice drop pass as he gets the return pass in behind the net. It bounces right in front, and it's cleared and out to center ice. And again, I think that was Michaud getting a stick on it. Raiders will make penalty killing changes with about 55 seconds left in the man advantage for the Black Knights. Here come the Knights in their own end. Eddie Marsh has it stolen by Ramo, gets it back again, knocked away, and then dumped down the ice. They wave the icing off as it goes back in the Massena zone. Brian Hatch picks it up. Hatch has it knocked away, gets it back again, in behind the net. Now he picks up a couple of Rome attackers. They have it taken away. That was J. Mike Mondrick back to the point. Here's the fake shot. The shot from the point. Reed makes the save on a blast from the point taken by Ed Marsh. Puck in the corner, knocked around behind the net. After it, Brian Hatch looks just tied up, has it poke checked away, but it's picked up by the Raiders. They dump it out to center ice. Raiders going to have a partial break. Here comes Ramo. Ramo backhand up over the net and into the mesh as Aaron Ramo fed it to Ryan Ramo, and he really couldn't quite catch it and get it to sit for him, but he did get a backhander off.
But a heads-up play by Aaron Ramo along with brother Ryan out there killing this penalty. The Raiders try to clear the zone, and it hit the Rome defenseman and trickled out to neutral zone, and both Ramos breaking Ryan up the middle, and Aaron just a nice touch pass led him into the play, but it just trickled too far and he couldn't get a lot on it. The backhand shot from a tough angle.
Off the face-off. Puck controlled by the Raiders. Here comes Toth, gets a shot off, and the save is made by goaltender Shears. He'll leave it in the corner. Puck still to the blue line. Back in the zone. Here comes Rome, but the penalty is elapsed, and the Raiders are back to full strength. Well, they will be for a minute, and Leduc picks up a tripping call right out of the box.
Aaron Leduc right out of the box, wasn't out there for 2 seconds, and the Rome Black Knights through the neutral zone with some speed, and Aaron Leduc made that cardinal sin of playing the puck, and he just chopped the Rome player's legs from out from under him, steps out of the box, he's right back in.
What's that, checking with your stick instead of your legs?
Oh, you bet. You can't definitely play the puck in that situation.
Off the face-off, puck back to the neutral zone, trickles into the Rome zone, they clear it back out. Now it's stolen away and knocked back into the blue line by Toth. Rome trying to break it free. Into the zone it goes. That's Mark Berry dumping it behind the net. Reed way out of his net to play it into the corner. Comes around the boards to the blue line. Here's a drive from the point. Reed kicks it up in the screen. Makes the save on a shot from Ed Marsh at the right point.
Big Ed Marsh playing that right point. Puck dug out of the corner to the left of Mark Reed. Back to Marsh at the point. He cranked one up. Fortunately for the Massena goaltender, he had a read on it all the way. No screen, no traffic in front.
Face-off again in the Massena zone. Michaud will take the draw against Mondrick. Mondrick wins the face-off, tries to barge through, but it's knocked away to the blue line, and Whitcup on his backhands it down the ice. And he's just the hardest working, I'll tell you what. Now it's Michaud trying to cause some problem in behind the net, but coming away with it is Ed Marsh. And his head man goes all the way down the ice. No, they wave the icing off. And it's picked up in behind by the Massena D as they move it to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Here's a shot from the point, and Reed is going to cover up this time around as he had J. Mike Mondrick right in front of him. That shot coming from Marsh, that time didn't get much on it.
Raiders forechecking of Robbie Whitcup and Aaron Michaud up front doing an excellent job as they did in the previous penalty, and then they're usually relieved by the Ramo brothers. And back on the D, Captain Nick Toth is one defenseman, and see who the other was. Brian Hatch, can't pick up the other number down there.
J. Mike Mondrick will take the face-off against Whitcup. Off the draw, Raiders win the face-off. Comes in behind the net. Yep, that's Whitcup. He flips it high in the air, not quite out of the zone. Kept in at the point. Here's a shot. Reed makes the save and dives on top of it. Holds on for the face-off. That shot coming from the other point, Andrew Miller, and he didn't get much on it, but it was a bouncer.
And that other Raider defender out there on the blue line is big number 19, Brandon Hall.
4-2. Raiders continue to lead on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, and they have 30 seconds left in the man advantage for the Black Knights. And again, J. Mike Mondrick will take the face-off against Whitcup off the draw. Puck goes side of the net. It bounces in front. It's cleared into the corner by the Massena defense. Controlled by Rome. They move it back to the point. Deflected. Kept in by Marsh. His shot is knocked down. It bounces out to center ice. Back across it goes as Miller fired it in the zone. The Knights have to get on sides. Whitcup, or I should say Toth, picking it up, flipping it around the boards. Marsh keeps it in. Here's his drive. He scores. What a blast.
Trying to clear the zone, ran it on the dasher, but Ed Marsh at that right point knocked it down, kicked it up to his stick, stepped across to his left and down about one stride, and I'd say that was about a 52-footer that Mark Reed could not handle. Wasn't screened, but he found some room in that short side. It was a blast, but Mark will, 99 out of 100 times, will stop that one. That'll be a power play goal. Marsh will get the goal. We'll see who'll pick up the assist.
Unassisted as Massena was clearing the zone. Here's a shot by the Raiders, and the save made. That off the stick of Adam Catanzari. Here's Levine with it back to the point. Flipped into the corner. Bounces free. Vitalone moving it to the blue line. Doesn't get out of the zone. Now it does. And here comes Scott Smith into the Massena zone. Cranks it up, and the kick save made by goaltender Reed. Back to the point. Trickles in front of the net. Reed poke checks it into the corner. Levine after it there. He'll move it down the left wing side to center ice. Here's Levine, barging his way through, dumps it in behind for Adam Catanzari. He'll flip it behind for Tubolino. Nick Tubolino goes back on the other side. A little bit too much on it. Pokes back to the blue line. Hatch, did he keep it in? He does. To Levine. Levine trying to barge his way through. In behind the net, picked up though by Ed Marsh. No, excuse me, that's not Ed Marsh. That is Scott Smith. Smith flips it to an open wing to center ice and is stumped into the zone by Sean Barry. Puck in behind the net, Leduc with it. That last goal goes down as a power play goal too by Ed Marsh. Here's Marsh with a puck into the Massena zone, goes right by the Massena defenseman. Shot, save, rebound in behind the net. Puck bounces side of the net. Raiders look to clear it to the blue line. Marsh is back there, flipping it over on the other side. Bounces into the corner. Leduc, or I should say Hatch with it, flipping it around the boards, and it's poke check down the ice by Chris Levine. It's 4-3. Raiders with a 1-goal lead now on the Rome Black Knights after that power play goal. Puck back inside Massena territory as the Knights try to put some pressure on. Hard check thrown by Massena captain Toth. Puck in the corner. Trying to come around and out of the zone is Derek Rupert. He's stolen away from him. Here's the shot. Reed makes the save. The puck sits in front. And finally, it's bounced out to the neutral zone. Raiders trying to chase it down. Eric McDonald after it. He can't come up with it, stays with it, kicks it aside. It goes to Ramo in the corner. That's Aaron Ramo. He'll dump it back for Rupert. Rupert behind the net, looks to center. The goaltender gets a piece of it, goes around the boards to the 45. Kept in at the point. That's Toth with it. Toth battles for it, comes to the blue line, and trickles out to center ice. Here come the Knights back the other way. Mondrick shot, he fired it wide. Puck whistles around the boards, and it'll be iced by the Red Raiders, and the whistle will blow. And we'll have a face-off. 7:57 left in the second period on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Raiders lead the Black Knights 4-3.
I'll tell you, they've got to find some extra gas down on that bench, though, Jerry. They, meaning the Raiders, they're running on fumes right now, getting those bus legs. The play has been all down in the Massena end in this second period, and the Black Knights have the only goal, but they're on fire, and Massena right back on their heels.
Off the face-off, puck in the corner. After it is Brandon Hall in behind the net. On the other side, Whitcup, nice headman pass. Michaud, here comes Michaud busting right down the middle. Here's Michaud backhand. Ooh, he missed by an inch as he just beat the two defensemen. To the point it comes. Ramo gets a shot off. The save is made. Michaud trying to center it. Goes behind the net. Whitcup throws a check. There's a battle. Whitcup steals it from the defenseman. Here's Whitcup in the corner. He's taken out of the play. He says, where is it? It's kicked away by the Rome defenseman. Comes back into the circle. Whitcup trying to pick it up. He can't. Out by the blue line. And it's cleared by the Knights. Whitcup picks it up. Feeds it to Michaud. Goes off his skate. Here come the Black Knights the other way. Into the Massena zone, and in behind the net it goes. Reed stops it. Leaves it for Brandon Hall. Hall flips it ahead on the wing, goes too far. And will it go far enough for icing? It will indeed, and the face-off will come back in the Massena zone.
A couple of good shifts out there. That last shift by the Robbie Whitcup line. Great pass by Whitcup to Aaron Michaud, breaking through the neutral zone with speed. Hit him right on the tape. Michaud split the defense and just slid one about 2 inches past the far post, but a great pass and a great move by Aaron Michaud.
Face-off back in the Massena zone. Broadcast brought to you by North Country Savings Bank. Off the face-off, the puck controlled. Well, bounces around. Finally, the Raiders clear it out to center ice. North Country Savings Bank locations in Massena, Potsdam, Canton, and Ogdensburg. Home of the no closing cost mortgage. Raiders in front. They can't put the pass down. And here come the Black Knights back the other way. Scott Smith with it. He'll dump it deep in Massena territory. Reed stops it. He'll clear it in behind the net. And the puck around the boards. Comes to Catanzarite. Picks it up. Trying to poke it by the defenseman. Throws a check. Puck gets away from him. Bounces into the corner. They wave at it. Who's got it? Their bodies flying. The puck is trickling inside of the net. Backhander goes in the net. That backhander came off the stick of Scott Smith. And Reed wasn't expecting it. It went right by him in the net to tie this thing up at 4.
From a real tough angle, almost an impossible angle, Scott Smith backhanded one down on that left side, and goaltender Mark Reed was not expecting it, wasn't ready, and he just got to kick himself for that one. He was watching the play, never expecting that Smith is going to shoot from that angle. It all developed, play along the scrum along the left boards. There were 5 or 6 players fighting for the puck, and it just came out below the dot on that left side to Smith. He just wanted to direct it towards the net, hoping that someone would be there, would hit something, but Mark Reed caught napping on that one, and the Black Knights have tied it up with the second goal of the period. Scott Smith with Sean Berry picking up his 3rd assist, and Halley also getting an assist on that. That coming at the 8:34 mark, and we have a 4-4 hockey game.
6:26 remaining, and it's a 4-4 game, and boy, I'll tell you what, this has been a wild and woolly shootout right from the start.
I tell you, you never know. As a goaltender, it's tough. You've got to expect shots at all times, and that time Mark Reed wasn't expecting that shot. It was a soft shot along the ice from an impossible angle, and just completely fooled goaltender Mark Reed.
Off the draw, the puck inside the Massena zone. Reed stops it, leaves it for Toth, flips to Misha, doesn't clear, and it bounces right at the blue line. There's a battle for it. And there's still a battle for it. Finally, Michaud comes away with it, lifts it high in the air, bounces right on the goal. He has to make a save. Shears. Michaud picking up the rebound in the corner. It bounces to the blue line, and where is it? Still in the zone. Ramo, he's got some room. Skates in front to Michaud, turns it, shot. And he fired it wide. Rebound, bounces in front to Michaud. Shot again, another save. Ramo gets a whack at it. Michaud turns it around, hit the goal post. Puck goes in the corner. Michaud looks, waits, centers it. Trying to get it to Ramo, but it's knocked back to the blue line. Hall keeps it in, has it knocked away, and finally it's cleared by Ed Marsh, and he'll just dump it into the Massena zone. Back after it, Brian Hatch. Hatch takes it behind the net, comes out the right side. Here's Hatch. Headman pass just by the forward streaking, dumped right back in the zone. Delay offsides though, and the puck goes in the corner Massena zone. Back after it there is Mondrick. Mondrick in the corner. Loses it to Whitcup. Whitcup circles. Here comes Whitcup with it. He's checked into the boards. Puck comes to Mondrick. Centering pass knocked down in front by the Massena defense. It bounces in behind the net. Picked up by Hatch. He flips it around the boards. Did it get out? No, it didn't. But now the Raiders will clear it out. Here comes the Raiders. Tubolino in front. Here's a shot fired high and wide by Levine. The rebound, Levine on the backhand. It trickles just side of the net. And diving out to grab it is Brandon Shears, and he holds on.
Chris Levine picking up a turnover high in the slot. Had goaltender Brandon Shears dead to right. Try to go top side, glove side, and just missed the top corner by inches. Would have break this 4-4 tie, but that 4th Rome goal, Scott Smith from Halley and Berry at the 8:34 mark.
Catanzarite will take the face-off against J. Mike Mondrick. Inside Rome territory, back to Tubolino. His shot, right on, save made, rebound Catanzarite in behind the net. He lost his stick. Comes to Levine in front. Tubolino fired it wide on a nice feed by Levine. Tubolino throws a check. Puck in the corner. Tubolino throws another check. The puck bounces free. We got a whistle. And I think we're going to have matching minors.
He's going to run both of them, but a good job. Nick Tubolino in there forechecking. He and number 27, Mark Berry, are each going to pick up a penalty, but that was just good hard work by Nick Tubolino, as he just prior to that had a great opportunity. That line's working hard. Jerry, if the Raiders can get the puck in deep, they can punish this Rome defense. There's no question about it, but they've been outshot, let's see, 11-4 in this period, and Massena's had the last 2 shots, so it was 11-2 up to that point.
Of course, there are 2 straight power plays by Rome.
That's right. Aaron Leduc, I think he was out of the box for 7 seconds from his first penalty, picked up the second one, and
Rome scored on that one, and then they got another goal to tie things up. Raiders win the draw. Comes to Michaud, right in front, Whitcup, backhander up over the net, as he was pretty well tied up. The puck comes to Marsh, trying to move it along the board, steps by the check. Here's Ed Marsh with the puck. He'll dump it to the blue line and in the zone. J. Mike Mondrick. Mondrick centering pass in front, the shot. Save made Reed, and he holds on for the faceoff.
nice move down that right side. Mark Berry and drew the defenseman with him. And nice slot pass back to J. Mike Mondrick from just inside the dot. He ripped one. That time, goaltender Mark Reed had the short side covered and was able to hold on for the hold the rebound. Face off to the left of Massena goaltender.
Corky's Collision scoreboard says 4-4. Massena Rome with 4:15 left in the second period. Face off in the Massena zone. Whitcup will take the draw against Smith. Off the draw, the puck in the corner. Leduc. He gets tied up, he and Smith, and Whitcup's in there as well. Leduc flips it ahead to Whitcup, and Whitcup starts to move it to the blue line, knocked away. Comes to Leduc, back to Whitcup, doesn't clear the zone. Puck kept in there. Here's a backhander, goes in behind the net. Here's a short side shot, and that might have hit the goalpost. Puck comes back along the boards to Eddie Marsh. He flips it behind the net, and Leduc trying to move it around the boards. He gets tied up. The Knights try to center it, but it's intercepted in front of the net. And here comes Nick Toth. He's got Whitcup with him. He's going to lead the attack. Here's Toth, drop pass, trying to go to Whitcup. Whitcup got knocked down from behind. Why that isn't interference, I don't know, but here comes Marsh the other way. Marsh, drop pass, Smith, his shot is blocked by a sprawling Aaron Michaud. Smith goes in behind the net, trying to come up with it, knocked away by Toth. Nick Toth starts back out for the Raiders. Toth trying to flip it out of the zone, ahead to Whitcup. Whitcup takes it and dumps it. He's out of gas, and the Raiders will make changes here. Puck in behind. The Black Knights move it. They almost got a guy waiting as they fired in from the red line, and the save is made by Reed. Raiders ahead, Levine. Levine clears the line, just barely. Gets tied up. The bouncing puck trickles to the Rome zone, to Bellino, or Catanzari rather. But the puck is dumped into the Massena bench, and we'll have a face-off with 2:50 left in the second period and a 4-4 tie hockey game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Raiders have dangled with that changing in mass, 5 at one time, and we've said many times that almost backfires. Unless you get the puck in deep, it can backfire, and it almost did that time.
Absolutely. Off the draw, Raiders dump it just across the blue line. The Knights get it right back out to center ice. Headman pass for J. Mike Mondrick to the blue line, back in the zone, offsides will be the call. Broadcast also brought to you by Massena Memorial Hospital, quality health care in the Seaway Valley, and by the men and women of Alcoa's Massena operations. 4-4 tie hockey game with a face-off moving outside the Massena zone.
It was almost 5-4 a second ago as Smith slid it across the crease, and Berry just fanned on it, Sean Berry.
Off the draw, here come the Raiders, back the other way. Catanzari trying to barge his way through. The puck got through, he didn't, and it's picked up and dumped right back to the Massena line where J. Mike Mondrick picks it up. He's got a man with him, gets a shot, fired it wide. Around the boards it goes to the blue line and out to center ice. Here comes Levine after it. Levine trying to come up with it, he does. Lost it off the end of his stick. Right back the other way comes Mark Berry. Berry dumps it deep in the Massena zone. The Knights want to change, and the Raiders have the puck behind the net, start to move it ahead. Out to the blue line, not out of the zone, however, the Knights keep it in the slot, and it's poke checked by Tubolino down the ice, and that will go for icing, and the face-off will move back in Massena territory. 1:56 left in period number 2, a 4-4 tie hockey game here at Kennedy Arena.
Raiders led 4-2 at the end of one, but the Black Knights have struck for the only 2 goals in this period. One coming at the 4:33 mark, and then 4 minutes later at the 8:34 mark to tie this hockey game. 1:56 left in the period.
Whitcup's line out there to take the face-off. Shears will take it for Rome in the Massena zone, off the draw. Puck controlled by Massena. They move it ahead, but it jumped off the glass and into the stands, and we'll do it all over again.
Low glass here at Kennedy Arena, and you have to be on your toes. As we mentioned, the fans right on top of the rink. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 rows in each set of bleachers, so you're really close to the ice and on your toes, or you can get clipped. That includes you and I, Jerry.
Yes, it does. This is an old-style arena in every fashion. Off the draw, puck back to the point. Here's a shot, eye over the net. Puck bounces into the corner, picked up by the Knights. Shot stopped. Well, actually, that was headed for the back of the net, but Reed decides to stop and hold on for the face-off. I should say not the back of the net, but behind the net.
Mark Reed, his second start of the year, mentioned was out with a broken ankle and some tendon problems. Started the first game of the year back in late November. Here's his second start of the year.
Off the face. Puck goes in behind the net for Toth. He rips it around the boards. The Knights are going to step in front of it, though, and clear it into the corner. There's a battle in the corner for the puck. Bodies flying. I see the glass just circulating. Finally, Whitcup comes up with it. Knocked away from him. Comes to Ramo. Ramo trying to get it to Michaud. Kept in by Marsh. Centering pass goes all the way back to the point, out to center ice. And the delay offsides. The Raiders are going to clear it anyway. Move it to the neutral zone. Marsh gloves it. Dumps it. Back into Massena territory. Picked up there by Toth. He bounces it off behind the net for Michaud. Trying to move it ahead. Michaud trying to catch up with it. He can't. Marsh bangs it back in the Massena zone into the final minute of the second period. Here's Leduc with it. He dumps it in Rome territory. Stops side of the net. Oh, check thrown by Catanzari. Here's a centering pass in front. Bounces around. In behind the net it goes. Catanzari after it there. Trying to stick handle. He gets tied up. Ramo coming in to help out. That's Ryan Ramo. Knocked away from him to the blue line. Kept in at the point. Here's a drive. Save made by goaltender Shears. Puck stolen in front. Here's a shot. Knocked down by Shears. Puck cleared. Here come the Knights into the Massena zone. And getting back is Tubolino with 25 seconds left. Puck stolen in front. Shot knocked down. In the circle it goes. Picked up by Catanzari. And he'll reef it out to center ice. We have a whistle, though. And I'll tell you what. The Black Knight player heading for the bench had no idea the puck was coming to him. He would have been home free.
I tell you, we've got bodies flying all over the place, and there's still one down on the ice. It's a Black Knight down there. I can't pick up the number, but just prior to that, right in front of us down here, Chris Levine had a great opportunity when the Rome defenseman turned it over. He fanned on it, and I think it was Adam Catanzari picked it up, and he got a shot off, but didn't have a lot on it. But
we're down to 17 seconds, a 4-4 tie hockey game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. The face-off at center ice. Must have been an offsides, or I guess it was the whistle for the injury.
The injury.
Yeah. Off the draw, the puck trickles to the red line, dumped to the Massena line. They battle for it. Finally goes deep in Massena territory. Reed stops it, leaves it in behind for Brandon Hall. Hall just drops it around to Hatch, who moves it into the corner as they look to play out the string here, and that'll take... Well, Whitcup will take the face-off. Off the draw, the puck in the circle. Michaud knocked away, gets it back again, sweeps it ahead. Knocked away and trickles into the Massena zone. Reed stops it, had to bobble a little bit, but Hall picks it off his stick and dumps it side of the net. And here comes the Massena Red Raiders back out to center ice. It's knocked away and goes off a couple of sticks up into the stands, and we'll have a face-off. And like you said, low glass, you got to watch yourself at this game.
How tough is Brandon Hall? Mark Berry on forechecking, coming in at 90 miles an hour, reefed him. He bounced, Berry bounced off of Hall like a rubber ball.
Ended up on his backside.
Ended up on the backside.
Yep, and Hall just skated away. Whitcup taking the draw. Face-off. Poke check by Whitcup in the zone. Trickles side of the net. Goaltender Shears leaves it in behind. Whitcup is right there battling for it. Gets away from him. Sestito to the blue line. Kept in by Hall momentarily. It's poke checked away. Nick Toth will have to come up with it. Toth bounces it ahead to Michaud. Michaud trying to go back to Whitcup. Whitcup just trying to move it down the line, but it's poke checked away, and it trickles in on Reed, and he'll leave it in behind the net for Nick Toth. Here's Toth looking to dump it, and it goes all the way down the ice. It's going to be an icing call, and we'll have a face-off Massena zone. Just underway in the third period, a 4-4 tie hockey game, and who knows how this one's going to end, but it's pretty exciting here, the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Smart play. Nick Toth rounding the net with the puck, being pressured. Looked to the right side, covered. Looked to the middle, that's covered. He just dumped it, cleared the zone, took the icing. Heads-up play by Captain Nick Toth.
Adam Catanzari will take the face-off against Dylan Shears off the draw. The puck goes in behind the net, and it's picked up by Chris Levine. Levine flips it ahead to Aaron Leduc. Leduc bounces it Catanzari. Catanzari to Tubolino. Tubolino has to turn back. He gets it. Flips it ahead to Levine. Here's Chris Levine down the left wing side. Takes it by one. Here's Levine. Skates in front. Shot. Save. Rebound. Where is it? In the net. And did they point? I don't know.
I think it's a goal, the way they're
Yes,
reacting.
he's pointing in the net.
Yeah, the other official is talking to him right now. It is a goal.
It is a goal for Massena.
It might be Adam Catanzari, because either going to be him or Chris Levine. Levine, a great move down that left side, walked around the defenseman from a tough angle, cut in front, directed the puck towards Brandon Shears, and then there was a scramble. We'll wait and see. Either Levine gets a goal, or I think Adam Catanzari will wait and see, but the Raiders have gone back in front 5-4.
And again, it just keeps happening in this game, and the officials really didn't make a call one way or the other. The red light didn't come on, but from here we could see the puck in the net.
Right, and no whistle. You couldn't hear the whistle out there. Did you get the goal, Jerry?
Leduc picked up an assist as well, and Tubolino from Levine and Leduc. And that coming at 2:03. And the Raiders right back at it. Into the zone it goes. In behind the net, battling for it. Levine, and he had it bounce away. And back out to center ice it comes, where Brian Hatch picks it up. 2:03, the time of the goal. Nick Tubolino getting the goal from Levine and who did I say? Now I forgot.
Hatch, I think.
Hatch and Levine, that's right. Okay, sorry about that. We'll have to check on that for sure, but that's what I heard. Now the puck at the blue line, neutral zone. Now at the red line, intercepted, backhanded in the zone by Aaron Ramo. Raiders lead at 5-4. Now the puck back to the blue line, kept in. Here's a chance in front for Ramo. His shot is blocked, and the Knights break it out of there. Nick Toth gets back. Here's a shot from center ice. Goes into the corner, taken by Scott Smith. Raiders control it, in behind the net, and around the boards it goes. Ramo after it there. He gets tied up. The bouncer in the circle. Here's a shot fired wide. Puck goes back to the other point, kept in. Knocked down in the circle. Raiders look to move it out to center ice. Did they? They did not. Here's a shot. The rebound, clear to the blue line. Raiders look to move it again. Do not clear it. Pokes free. Kicked ahead and out to center ice that time. Dumped right back in the Massena zone, as Massena running around a little bit right now. Puck along the boards, up on the glass. Went up on the screen actually, and no whistle. Finally, the referee found his whistle and blew it.
Well, Jerry, I was calling Adam Catanzari down there because I could see the tube, and the zero was obliterated. But if it's what we've got here, Nick Tubolino is going to get the goal, his second of the year, as he banged in that rebound and that scramble in front. And it all started with a great rush down that left side by Chris Levine, who walked around the defenseman and took the puck to the net, which created all that traffic. And somehow Nick Tubolino, who was down on his knees, was able to poke it home. But the Raiders have taken a 5-4 lead.
And now there's some discussion. I'm not sure what it's about, but Whitcup will take the face-off in the Massena zone against Mark Berry. Off the draw, the puck in the circle, finally picked up by Aaron Leduc, takes it behind the net, rips it around the boards to the blue line, and down the ice it goes. They wave off the icing as the defenseman could have played it. Goes deep inside Rome territory. Picked up by Eddie Marsh in behind his own net. He's playing defense right now. We'll see them both. Marsh in behind, flips it high in the air out to center ice. Here come the Knights in the Massena zone, out by the blue line. So they move it around. Here's a shot right across the goal mouth. Michaud will try to pick it up and bang it ahead. This time it's going to trickle down the ice. It's going to go right in on goal, and making the save is Brandon Shears in the corner. Raiders try to center it in front, but it's knocked away. Back to the blue line, out to center ice. Bouncing to Aaron Leduc. He picks it up, flips it ahead. Whitcup trying to come up with it. Ramo does. Ramo takes it across, but it's cleared right back into the Massena zone. Comes in on Reed. He'll stick it ahead to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Puck in the corner. Goes to Marullo, knocked off his stick by Hatch. Hatch around the boards. Tubolino comes back, picks it up, flips it ahead to the blue line and out to center ice, where it's picked up by the Rome defense. They'll flip it ahead on the wing. Michaud steps by the check. Here's Michaud dumping it in the zone. Intercepted, knocked away. Tubolino, short side shot, save made by Shears. The Rome defenseman kind of nonchalanted it. Nick Tubolino almost made him pay. Now the puck back in the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. After it there is Marullo. He loses it to Catanzari. Adam to the blue line. trying to get it out of the zone. Comes free to Hall, and he just banks it off a leg to center ice, where it's picked up by Andrew Miller. Rome defenseman dumps it back in the Massena zone. Goes to the side of the net. Picked up there by Brandon Hall. Finds his wing, Levine. Levine threw it away in front. Here's an opportunity for Rome, but they don't get it through. Now it bounces to the blue line. Out to center ice. Here comes Catanzarite down the right wing side. Adam flips it. Into the corner it goes. Levine after it. Circles, trying to center it. Goes back to Toth at the point. His shot is blocked. Comes back to the point. Whitcup, who stepped off the bench, comes into the corner to pick it up. Centering pass in front, knocked down. They bang at it. Goes in behind the net. Bounces free to the blue line. Not out of the zone. Catanzarite keeps it in. Trying to move it ahead. Catanzarite in the corner, flips it around behind the net. Whitcup going after it. Whitcup steals the puck. He's got it in the corner, rubbed off his stick to the blue line and trickles out to center ice. Raiders pick it up. Levine trying to move it ahead. It's intercepted. To the Massena line. Right there is Hall. His headman pass goes to the Rome line. Dumped away there. Bouncing at the red line. Comes to Toth. Here's Nick Toth. Barges across the blue line. Trying to barge his way through. Can he get the puck? He can. It's knocked away. Comes back to the neutral zone. Picked up by Aaron Michaud. He'll dump it right back in Rome territory. Raiders lead 5-4 with 8:56 left on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Puck in the corner. It's Ramo in behind the net. That's Aaron Ramo. Ramo gets tied up but stays with it. Looks to center. Bounces free. Comes to Ryan Ramo. He'll flip it to Aaron behind the net. Goes by him around the corner. Clear to the blue line. Kept in at the point by Hatch. Hatch flips it. Trying to get it free to Aaron Ramo. Knocked away from him to the blue line. Kept in there by Ryan Ramo. Squirts away. And the Knights move it out to center ice. Here comes Rome. They'll dump it to an open wing in the Massena zone. Aaron Leduc with it. Flips it ahead to Ryan Ramo. He just moves it out to center ice. Here comes Rupert, knocked away from him. Knights back in the Massena zone. Poke checked away. They get it back again. Hatch comes up with it, moves it away. Here's a chance for Rupert. He'll move it out of the pack. Rupert looking to headman. Ryan Ramo, he's got it. He wants off, and he'll dump it deep in Rome territory. Back in behind the net, around the boards it goes. Knights look to clear, stolen away. McDonald shot, save made. Holding on is Brandon Shears. And that was a long period of sustained action.
Sustained a lot of it in that neutral zone towards the last 30 seconds. Good effort by each team offensively, but a lot of play through that neutral zone. Not being able to generate a lot of speed through there. A lot of banging, crashing, and turnovers in that neutral zone. But we're down to 7:54 in this third period. Raiders on that go-ahead goal by Nick Tubolino, leading 5-4.
At least I think it was him.
What do you think? We'll have to double-check that one, but...
Face-off will be in the Rome zone. Broadcast brought to you by Seaway Tire for quality tires and great car care, East Orva Street in Massena, and by Massena Savings and Loan, Main Street, Massena. Catanzarite will take the face-off for Massena. Puck goes in behind the net, clear to the blue line, and here come the Black Knights out to center ice. Barry with it, flipping it ahead. Across the blue line, McDonald clears it right back out, right back in again. Picked up by Leduc. Leduc flips it high in the air, down the ice, and that's going to probably trickle right on. And the save is made by Shears. Catanzarite throws a check. The puck cleared around the boards to the blue line. Another hard check thrown there by the Raiders. As the puck squirts free, we have a whistle. And we got something in front of the net, I think. I think they're going to run them both?
Run them both. I think it's going to be Adam Catanzarite for the Raiders. We'll wait and see who the big number is. That might be Eddie Marsh. Yeah, it is. Eddie Marsh for Rome. They had a little thing going behind the net, probably roughing. This Rome club got some brothers act on here. They've got the twins, Matthew and Ryan Healy, and then brothers Brandon and Dylan Shears, along with a couple of cousins, Mark and Sean Berry.
Yeah, roughing is the call on both.
But Raiders, I've noticed, Jerry, are very short shifting. They're very conscious of that. They're coming to the bench. They probably got really instructed by the coaching staff and emphasized we want short shifts this period because they certainly didn't have the legs in that second period.
Seems so far to have made a difference.
Yes, it has.
Off the face-off, puck in front. Toth shot! Save made, rebound! Cleared by the Black Knights. They move it out to center ice. Here come the Knights in the Massena zone. Hall gets a piece of it, knocks it behind the net. Around the boards it goes. Hall takes his man into the corner. Puck squirts free. J. Mike Mondrick back to the point. Here's the shot wide. Puck goes back to the other blue line. Another shot deflected into the corner. Reed clears it. And coming back after it is Chris Levine. And I don't know what happened, but he lost his edge. Puck goes free. Rome controlling behind the net. J. Mike Mondrick with it. Looking, takes it, high slot. Here's Mondrick, skates through, his shot knocked down. It bounces in front, and Reed just blocks it into the corner where Tubolino picks it up, lugs it out to center ice. Here's Nick Tubolino, cuts across the blue line, right down the middle, gets a shot right on, and the save is made by goaltender Shears. As Tubolino came down the middle, nobody came with him. They were going to the bench, so he kept on going, got a shot off.
Great rush by Nick Tubolino from his own end on that right side. A lot of speed through the neutral zone, and cut in, made a nice move on the defenseman, got the shot off, didn't have a lot on it, but a good individual rush. Just prior to that, Brandon Hall made an excellent move as Justin Morello came down with a lot of speed, and Hall didn't let him cut in. Excellent defensive move.
Off the face-off to the blue line. Hatch winds up his shot. Save made. Puck goes in the corner. Shears getting a good blocker on it. Back to the point again. Here's Hatch winding up again. His shot right on. And the save made, this time up into the screen. So Brian Hatch with a couple of good blasts there, fairly low to the ice.
Down to 6:23 left in this hockey game. 5-4. The Raiders back in action tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, when we travel up the pike to Oswego to take on the Buccaneers. But first task at hand, trying to come out of here with a W.
It will be Ryan Ramo taking the face-off. Massena leads 5-4 on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Rome Black Knights control the puck out to center ice. Trickles to the Massena line. Hatch is there, trying to move it ahead. Intercepted. Back come the Knights in the Massena zone. Poke checked away by Ramo. A little help by Hatch. Or Leduc, rather. Here comes Ryan Ramo. Gets by the D. Takes it in front. Poke check by the goaltender. Nice play. Now the puck in the circle. The defenseman took a whack at it and missed it, but then he gathers it in and takes it behind the net and flips it up into the crowd. And we'll have a face-off inside Rome territory. 5:50 left in the third period. 5-4 Massena on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
One thing that the Raiders have to really be cognizant of, Jerry, is to balance the ice, especially in this late going, especially on the defense, that they can't overload on one side and let Rome swing that rink-wide pass to the weak side and have that guy breaking through the neutral zone. Just have to realize, keep on top of that.
Know where you are. Off the face-off, puck trickles to the blue line. Hall gets a whack at it. It's blocked. And it trickled. No, it stays in the zone. Now it trickles out to center ice. To the Massena line it goes. After it there is Toth. Trying to flip it ahead. It's intercepted in the circle. Here's a shot just wide. And that was just wide. Had that been on net, that might have been in. Here come the Knights. In front of the net. It trickles away. Here's a shot high and wide. Back to the other point. Raiders getting caught a little deep. Here's a shot blocked out to center ice. Levine leaves it for Catanzari, but offsides will be the call. Raiders drop it, so that they'll have to get back on side. Now they do, but Rome controls. Still in their own end, though. And they'll dump it ahead to the Massena line. Flipped into the Massena zone. Hall picks it up, takes a whack at it, gets it back out to center ice. The Knights are there. It's flipped away to the Rome line. They come back the other way. Here's a shot from center ice. That goes off a couple of legs and bounces in behind the net. And around the boards it goes. Toth trying to come up with it. There's a battle right in front. Catanzari and Toth. Catanzari throws a check. Toth comes up with a puck, trying to move it ahead. And now we got some fisticuffs going on. And there's going to be some penalties on this as tempers have started to flare.
Adam Catanzari is going to be one. I'm not sure if Nick Tubolino is going to be the other, but Catanzari was throwing some punches over there. I only see one gate open. Got to have another one open, that's for sure. They might even bounce these two guys. Is that Eddie Marsh that's going? It is. Eddie Marsh is going to the penalty box along with Adam Catanzari. Started innocent enough along the boards, but I think the players were expecting a whistle, and they didn't get the whistle, and it just kept festering and festering. Finally, a couple of punches or swings were taken, and we're waiting to see what the disposition is, because very critical if they could, call them both for fighting.
They could.
And
will they? Maybe not.
Well, they're in the box right now.
They were far enough away from each other where they didn't really make much contact.
No, there wasn't any damage done, but again,
we'll see what happens.
That's a no-no when you take a swing like that, but referee's conferring with the penalty timekeeper right now. We're down to 4:37 in the hockey game, and Raiders can't, they just gotta, they're opening the gate. That doesn't look good. I don't like that. That means one of two things. He might have got a misconduct. That would be the good sign. I hope the bad sign that they got tossed out of the game. But the crowd really into it right now. But
or else Massena picked up an extra penalty.
Yeah, because they got that gate open. They want somebody else in that box over there.
But at least he's not going off the ice.
No, but I'm waiting to see if anything's flashed up there. Comes up a minute and a half.
Against
Rome.
No, that's Massena.
Massena.
No, wait a minute, that's Tubolino. Yeah, Tubolino picks up a penalty as well.
Well, I thought he actually was it started with him down here. That's the extra penalty. I guess they're going to Massena's going to pick up 2.
Yeah, apparently either they're against the 2 or double minors, but they're going to even out. Massena, the net result.
Rome on a power play. He'll be roughing, I'm sure, with Katanzrik and Marsh. Probably Nick Tobolino also. What'd you get on that, Jerry?
They got double minors to Marsh and Katanzari, and holding to Tubolino.
Okay.
Double roughings.
End result, Rome on the power play.
Right. That's the end result. Raiders clear the puck. Raiders lead by 1. They've got to kill this penalty. And the good news is they didn't do what they could have done, and that's toss them both.
And the bad news is you can't take any foolish penalties this stage of a hockey game when you're up by 1. That's the bad news, though.
Yes. That is the bad news. Let's see what the Raiders can do with this. The puck, Rome controls. In the zone, they clear it to the Massena line and take it across. Goes in behind the net. Picked up by the Knights. J. Mike Mondrek drops it in the corner, moving it around the horn. Comes to the side of the net, J. Mike, but Leduc takes it away. He'll flip it along the boards, trying to clear it out of there. It doesn't get out. Kept in, goes in the corner, left side. There's a battle for it there. As they move it around, Sestito goes back to the point. Here's a drive through traffic, goes wide, and bounces to Leduc, and he finds the hole and moves it out to center ice. I'll tell you what, that came off the backboard right in front of the net again.
Tough bounce.
Fortunately for Massena, came to Leduc. Here comes Rome right back the other way as they try that long pass. In the corner it goes. Bouncing around Leduc, trying to just block it. It's underneath him. And the whistle will blow.
Aaron Leduc out of gas, or either that or his leg is injured. He dropped on the puck, smart move, and he also tied up the Rome player's stick out there. And the fans were yelling for a delay of the game penalty, but smart move by Aaron Leduc. As the gas tank was empty, he wanted to get off, and the puck went to the corner. He dropped on it and also dropped on the Rome forward stick.
Ramo to take the face-off. And J. Mike Mondrek is lobbying for a call, but he's not going to get it. Face-off left side. It's in the circle. It sits in the circle. Still in the circle. Raiders control Toth. Finds the hole and dumps it with 5 seconds left in the man advantage.
Another break for Massena is that Marsh is the guy that's in the penalty box. He's the key to this power play.
Tubolino is back. We're down to 3:03. Raiders continue to lead by 1. Puck trickles in the Massena zone. Nick Toth with it. Backhand pass. Kept in the zone. Here comes Ramo. Skates in front. Shot saved. Rebound goes in the corner. That's Aaron Ramo after it now. That was Ryan with the chance. Puck clear to the blue line, out to center ice. Dumped right back in the zone. Well, actually, it bounced off a couple of bodies, just crosses into the zone. Ramo can't come up with it. Here come the Knights, trying to clear it in the zone. They don't. Ramo just bodied him enough that he couldn't get by him, and it's dumped right back as the Raiders make changes. Knights control the puck. Clear it out to the blue line. Here's the dump pass, knocked down by Massena, Zach Dupree. Back to the Massena line it goes. Brian Hatch turns it around, lost his edge, gets back up again, flips it ahead to Whitcup. Whitcup over on the other side as they move it ahead. Nishad, he gets bodied into the play. The puck in the corner, tied up, squirts free. Back to the blue line. Nishad trying to carry it ahead. Where is it? Down the ice. And he almost threw it, didn't he? I guess you can do that from your own end. Here come the Knights trying to clear the zone. Whitcup keeps it in. Here's Whitcup, centering pass knocked away. Bounces to the blue line. Kept in by Hatch. He slides one right on. Save made. We're down to 1:42. Raiders lead by a singleton. Knights with a puck, trying to clear the zone. They don't. Dupree keeps it in. We haven't seen Zach in a while, but he's made his presence known here on this shift. Puck in behind. 1:30 left in the third period. Raiders up 5-4. But here comes Rome. Shot from the point, and it's saved by Massena goaltender up into the screen.
We got a penalty coming, Jerry, and it's going to be against Massena, and it's going to be against Aaron Michaud. It's either going to be elbowing or high sticking. You can call either one right in front of the Raider bench as he just flattened the Rome player, but the stick was up. We'll wait and see what the call is. Probably elbowing, but it could add either. 1:23 left to go, and the Raiders are going to have to kill off. There'll be a man short for the remainder of this hockey game unless Rome scores, and Big Eddie Marsh won't be in the penalty box on this one.
I think it was elbowing. I'm not positive of that. But the Raiders will be down a man for the next, the rest of the regulation, unless Rome scores.
And we're talking about discipline a little while ago, and again, you cannot take those types of penalties this late in the ball game. You just can't do it. You just got to be disciplined. The Raiders trying to kill a little time down here. I don't know why they don't call a timeout. If they want to rest some of these players out there, I'd call a timeout, Coach Latham, right now. Give your penalty killers a little extra time.
He might do that.
He might just before they line up and then ask for a timeout. There it goes, right now, yeah. Okay, smart move. He got a few extra seconds out of that. Went from the bench down to the dot, then you call the timeout.
Actually, I think Rome called that. I think they said timeout RFA.
Either way, it's going to work out. Massena, I think, needs to rest a little more than I can't say it enough, Jerry. This is the time you really have to be disciplined, and you can't take retaliation penalties or penalties away from the play. That time, and this has been a rough, tough hockey game, but the Massena forward just, blatantly had the stick up, hit the guy. If the stick would have been down, the elbow's down, no problem. But anyway.
It's 4-3, or 5-4 rather, Massena with 1:23 left in the third period. And the Raiders try to kill one more off here. Broadcast brought to you by Mohawk Furniture, the home of tax-free furniture, Route 37, Akwesasne. By Massena Savings and Loan, Main Street, Massena. Also by Seaway Tire, the men and women of Alcoa's Massena operations, Massena Optics, and Nationwide Insurance, and your local Nationwide agents. 5-4 Massena. Mark Reed coming back into the net. The face-off will be in the Massena zone. And out to take it will be J. Mike Mondrick, and Eddie Marsh is back there at the point.
He's the big cannon. He's the guy they try to, he's the focus. They try to get the puck back to him. He's the shooter, then collapse to the net. He's got a rocket for a shot. Raiders putting out Toth and Paul on the points.
Yep. Whitcup and Ramo. Off the draw, puck in the circle, picked up by Toth, moves it to the blue line, out to center ice. Here comes Ramo, racing for it, trying to poke it by, and it trickles right in front. And the goaltender came out, almost made a miscalculation, but holds on. Now the puck to the blue line. Just over a minute, into the Massena zone it goes. J. Mike, nice drop pass, but it's knocked away. Whitcup dumps it down the ice.
Great job, Robbie Whitcup and Nick Todd.
Now we're down under a minute to play here. Puck inside Rome territory. The Black Knights control. Marsh with it. Headman pass on the wing. Stolen away. Whitcup again. Moves it to the Rome zone. Picked up there by Miller. Into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Around the boards in the corner. Whitcup moves it to the blue line. Not out of the zone. Moving around the horn. Save made. Rebound. Backhander just wide. And I mean just wide. 27 seconds left. Back to the point, flipped into the corner. A couple of Black Knights fall down. Toth picks up the puck, looking to waste time. Doing a good job to Whitcup. Whitcup moves it ahead. Here's Whitcup. Down the ice it goes with 10 seconds left in the third period. Deep inside Rome territory. Here they come, out to center ice, to the Massena blue line. Here's the shot. Reed makes the save, flips it ahead, and the buzzer sounds, and the Raiders hold on for the victory.